Hey folks, I'm Dennis. Thanks for watching my video. Today I'm going to use the Kawasaki tune-up kit for my zero-turn mower that's got a Kawasaki engine on it. They make this kit for pretty much all the engines that they make, which includes a lot of the zero-turn mowers and some of the riding mowers too. The kit's got fuel filter, air filter, oil for your oil change, oil filter, and spark plugs. So it's full tune-up and oil change basically. So I'll show you how to do mine. Thanks for watching. Let's get started. Let's go ahead and get into the tune-up kit. Also, the other thing that I have is I've got a length of about 1.5 feet of 1/2-inch vinyl tubing. So you can get this at any hardware store. That's good for doing your oil drainage with the valve that they use on these mowers. So I've got your Kawasaki 4-cycle 20W50 oil, which is what they recommend. 2 quarts. Kawasaki oil filter. 2 spark plugs. Fuel filter, air filter with the added foam filter on the outside, and instructions. It tells you what's in the kit. It tells you what engines it's for. This one is for the FR651V, FR691V, FR730V, and all the FS series. So it covers a lot of engines. If you go to your dealer and get a tune-up kit, just make sure you know what engine is on your mower. And I'll show you how to find that in a minute when we're looking at the mower. My air filter is absolutely filthy, so don't give me a hard time about it. If you've still got the sticker on your engine, it'll just tell you right there, FR651V. If you don't have that sticker, you can come over here to this sticker, and it will give you model number, serial number, that kind of stuff. If you don't have that, then I'm not sure, honestly, I'm not sure where it is on these blocks. Somewhere on the blocks there'll be a serial number. You can get that and then your dealer can look it up for you. But generally you're going to have one of these two. Some of them have a couple of thumb screws. Mine doesn't. Mine, you just pop the cover open. Air filter's super nasty. There is a clamp on mine, which there will be on most of them. It's got a thumb screw. If it doesn't have a thumb screw, then you'll have to get a screwdriver. If you're comfortable doing this, you can do it this way. You can just pry the thing up and pop it off. If you're not, you can loosen this clamp also. And I'll show you how to do that for kicks. Take a slotted screwdriver, loosen that clamp up. Then you can lift it and turn it if you want to, or you can just take it off right here. I don't really like to do that so much because all this is usually going to be dirty and you're going to drop crap right down in the carburetor. So usually what I'm going to do is try to get it off just right here like that without loosening this. But if it's not as disgusting as this one is, which is way beyond needing to be replaced, then if you can clean all that off if you want, and then take this clamp off and take the whole thing off. So then generally I'm going to kind of clean that out a little bit. There's another sticker I didn't realize was there that will also give you the model number and the serial number of the engine. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this back up since I'm not taking that off. Take your new filter. Just lift that up, pop him in there. Watch your fingers right here. Just make sure that the snorkel tube is on it all the way around. Tighten that back up. Basically just finger tight. You're not trying to crank down on it. You just want kind of an air seal tightening. That's done. Pop that down. Air filter's done. And I'll leave links for all of this stuff in the video description, but what you're going to need is an oil catch pan of some sort, something that'll hold 2 quarts, because that's how much oil this engine takes. I take my 1/2-inch vinyl tubing and I run it through this round hole on the motor mount plate, and then I take the other end of it and attach it to the nipple on the oil drain valve. I make sure there are no kinks in the tubing. I get it kind of curved around like so, and then make sure the other end is going into my drain pan. I take my oil filler cap loose just to let it breathe a little bit, and then take my 10mm wrench and begin to back out the hex head on the drain valve. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but the oil drains very slow from these engines. It takes these engines, because of this tube, forever to drain the oil, in my opinion. So what I do is, while the oil's draining, before I replace the oil filter, I go ahead and do the spark plugs. So you got a spark plug on both sides, one over here, one over here. The manual tells you to pull spark plug boots off before you change the oil. I usually don't, but I probably should. So anyway, take a spark plug boot. You can use a boot puller, you can do it with your hand. Just work it off the plug, like so. There's your spark plug. You need a spark plug socket as opposed to just a regular socket. It's got a rubber piece inside of there to keep you from breaking the ceramic on the plug. It's a 13/16 spark plug socket. And the torque spec, when you put the new ones in, is 16 foot-pounds. So if you use a 3/8 drive torque wrench, you got to convert that to inch-pounds. So 16 foot-pounds is 192 inch-pounds. So you can set your wrench accordingly. So take your spark plug socket, put on your plug, loosen it up. Now if you've warmed your engine up, be careful because the plug might still be hot. The gap spec on the spark plug for this engine is actually pretty tight. It's 0.7 to 0.8 millimeters, or 30 thousandths of an inch. So if you, I'll tell you what, just leave me a comment below if you don't know how to gap a plug. If you want me to do a video on gapping a plug, I'll do one. But fortunately mine came properly gapped in the box. So then what I do is I just take my wrench, my plug socket, and I use it to start it. Run it all the way in there till it's finger tight. You do want to make sure when you're replacing the plugs, make sure that this compression gasket is on there. And when you take your old plug out, make sure that the compression gasket came off it. Then tighten it up finger tight. Put your torque wrench on it. You want to tighten it to 16 foot-pounds or 192 inch-pounds, depending on your torque wrench. Same thing. Once you get that done, then just put your spark plug boot back on the plug. Make sure that it snaps on, and then head to the other side. This is the left side of the engine, and you just go through the same process with it. The oil's finally done draining, and so here's how I do it anyway. I'll take an oil rag, stick it up underneath my tube. I rerouted my tube. I had it going through this hole and then toward the rear of the mower, but I changed it to where it would still go through the hole, but go toward the side, on the discharge side of the deck. It kept the kinks out of the hose a little bit better and let it drain better. So I took my rag up underneath here and then tighten up the drain valve. Make sure that it's closed all the way. You can finger tighten it sometimes. Then take your wrench and your 10 millimeter and tighten it off. Basically, it's just kind of a snug tight. It's a plastic valve, so you don't want to torque on it too hard. You'll break it. Once you have that tight, then you can take your hose off. That's why I put the rag under there, because it might dribble a little bit. Kind of wipe that up and get your hose out of there without flinging oil everywhere from the end of it. So when you get ready to pull this oil filter off, it's going to leak a little bit of oil down there in the bottom. So what I do is I take some aluminum foil and just fold up a kind of a boat, like a tray. You can use a small tray if you want, but it's a weird kind of shaped area down there, so it's going to be hard to get a tray to fit. So I just bend up aluminum foil into an oddball shape, fold the sides up to give it enough room to hold the little bit of oil that's going to come out of there. It's not a ton since you've already drained the oil, but it's enough to make a mess without something to catch it. So I just squeeze it up underneath there, kind of form it to fit as I go. There's a small lip that's underneath the oil filter that diverts the oil as it drips away from the oil filter mounting face flange. So as long as you're up underneath that lip, you'll see it when I take the filter off. Then just unscrew the filter, take it off, make sure your foil stays put, and tip it up. You know, as you get it off the threads, tip it up so it doesn't pour out, and then get it out of there. And you'll see a little bit of oil there in the pan. I'll just take my oil rag and wipe off that that lip that diverts the oil dripping from underneath the filter. Kind of wipe that off so it doesn't continue to drip, and then sort of carefully get my tray out of there. Sort of roll the edges up as I come out so I don't spill my oil, and then you know, fold that up as I get it out of there. Dip your finger in your new oil and just get a drop or so on it, rub it around the gasket on your new oil filter. That'll keep the gasket from seizing to the block. You can use old oil if you want to. There's not enough to matter, plus your engine's retaining some old oil anyway. Some people have a fit about that, but it doesn't really matter. Also, some people will say fill your filter up first. In a horizontally mounted filter like this, it's just going to leak out. I don't bother. The engine's going to fill the filter up on the first turnover anyway. Take your filter and thread it onto the filter stud, which you can see the flange and the filter stud right here. It's going to spin on clockwise. Get that started. Well, spin it on till you feel it touch the flange. Once it touches the flange, give it about a half a turn, and that's all you got to do. You don't have to crank it on. That'll seal just fine and not give any problems. I'll leave an oil rag down there just to catch any stray drops. Now it's time to put in the oil. Take the dipstick out, and you can see here where it's got marks in your fill line. Each of those little dots is a half pint. It'll also say on the dipstick to not screw it in to test your oil level. A lot of people want to screw it in and unscrew it to check it. You don't have to do that. Just push it in until it stops. You'll need a funnel, and then your kit for this engine will come with a 651V. Will come with 2 quarts of oil, and I'll pour all of the first quart in, and then all but maybe just a little bit of the second quart, and check it just to be safe, just to keep from overfilling it. But my experience with this is it just takes 2 full quarts. Now right here I stopped just a little shy of both of the second quart. I'm going to pull my funnel out and check the oil level just to be sure. Notice again, I don't screw it in. I just drop it down in there, pull it out per the instructions. Check it, and I can see it's just a touch shy. So I'm going to just add the last little bit of the second cord in there to top it off, get it all the way full. Get rid of my funnel. Put it back together. Don't forget to screw the dipstick in. Last thing we're going to do is change the fuel filter, which is right here. This is your fuel pump. This is your fuel filter. It's got two lines. I don't know how well you can see all of this, but there's a line coming into it from back here. There's a line coming out of it from here. This line, this end attaches to your fuel tank. Trusty oil rag. We're going to put it under here. Here's your new fuel filter. You'll notice on the side it's got an arrow that indicates the fuel flow direction. So the entry is going to be from the tank and the exit of the filter is going to be toward the fuel pump, because your fuel is flowing from the fuel tank to the pump. So you want to make sure you get it installed the right way so it properly filters your fuel. Alright, just take your pliers, squeeze your hose clamp on the fuel pump side first, slide it up the hose, the fuel line, and then start working the fuel line off the filter. If you haven't changed it before, or if it's been a long time since you changed it, you might have to work it a little extra. It'll come off, you'll get a little bit of gas out of the line. Then what I have found for the other side of the fuel filter is it's easier to take the fuel line loose from the fuel tank, because it's hard to get to the hose clamp on the entry side of the fuel filter. So it's got the same kind of clamp on it. You slide that up the hose and then work that off the pickup tube from the fuel tank. Once you get that loose, you can slip the fuel filter and the fuel line from the tank out so that you can get to the other end of it and knock off. If you got a whole bunch of dirt up underneath there, right there is a good place for it to pick up dirt, because it's between the tank and the engine. Slide your hose clamp down, knock any loose dirt off so you don't knock it into your fuel line, and then work the filter out of the fuel line. And there might be a little bit of fuel comes out of it, but discard of that properly, and then take your new fuel filter, making sure that you line it up with the fuel flow according to the arrow, so the fuel tank line goes on the entry end. Right here you could go ahead and hook up the fuel line from the fuel pump and probably save yourself a little bit of grief. I didn't do it that way this time. I probably should have. But anyway, go ahead and slide that back in there, hook up the fuel line to your tank, and put that hose clamp back in place. And then go to the exit side of the fuel filter and hook up the fuel pump line. Put that hose clamp back in place, and then you're done with that. Now, the first time you start it up, it might take it a few rotations to fire off because there's no gas in the fuel filter and the lines now, so I have to bring all that fuel up. But it'll start up relatively quick normally. So you want to crank it up, let it run for 30 seconds to a minute. Let your oil settle for a second, then come back and check your oil level just to be sure that it is topped off. Also, while you're letting it run, check and make sure you don't have a leak around the fuel filter or around the oil filter, since you've been working on both of those. So I'll do my final oil check, make sure it's to the full mark, and it's good to go. So folks, that's it. I appreciate you watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you back soon watching other videos. God bless you, and take care.